Well, do you have a list of these tax sheets?
No.
Okay. Have you been to the IRS and said, here are these companies and they're cheating on their taxes and I can show you how they're doing it?
No, I'm not. That's not a. I've never practiced in that area of law. I'm not a tax whistleblower lawyer.
All you've done is run around saying American companies are cheating on their taxes. I can't tell you who they are, and I haven't been to the IRS to show my data to the IRS, but I want you to believe me that they're cheating on their taxes.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Capital Insights. Today, I'm diving into a heated exchange between Senator John Kennedy and Miss Milin, an expert in tax law, during a recent Senate hearing. They covered some intense topics around tax evasion. Trust me, this one's worth sticking around for, so let's break it down. But before I get started, make sure to hit that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future updates on Capital Insights. Alright, let's get into it. The conversation kicks off with Senator Kennedy asking Miss Milin a simple but loaded question. Is your expertise in tax avoidance, tax evasion, or both? Milin says it's both, and admits that for corporations the lines can blur. Interesting start, right? You can already feel where this is headed. Then things heat up. Kennedy asks Milin straight up, are major American corporations cheating on their taxes? Milin says yes. Some companies aren't following transfer pricing regulations. She's not calling out anyone specific yet, but you can tell she believes there's something going on behind closed doors. Here's where Kennedy really turns up the pressure. He asks Milin to name 5 companies that are supposedly cheating on their taxes, but Milin deflects, saying it's up to the IRS to handle that. Kennedy's not letting it go though. He keeps asking for names, while Milin insists she's not in a position to give them. This back and forth shows just how tricky it is to pin down corporate tax behavior. Miss Milin finally mentions some big tech players like Apple, Microsoft, and Facebook, suggesting they're using legal loopholes. However, she stops short of using the word cheating. She points out that the IRS is under-resourced, making it hard to enforce tax laws even when corporations push the limits. By now, you can tell Senator Kennedy is getting pretty frustrated. He keeps pressing for specifics, but Milin sticks to her stance, saying it's up to the IRS and the courts. Kennedy criticizes her for making serious allegations without backing them up with names or concrete evidence. It's a tense moment, and you can feel that Kennedy doesn't think her testimony is holding water. In the end, Kennedy wraps things up with a stinger. Talk is cheap. It's clear he wasn't satisfied with Milin's answers.
Do you believe that there are major American corporations that are cheating on their taxes?
I think yes, there are cases where the transfer pricing regulations are not being followed, and Mr. Curtis's testimony speaks to that.
Who are they? Who are the 5? Name the 5 American corporations that are the biggest tax cheats.
Well, this is a question for the IRS. It's their job to enforce the laws. So I wouldn't.
But that's a pretty serious allegation you made there, and I'm just asking you who they are.
There are cases pending against a number of companies until those cases conclude. It's not.
Who do you think they are? You're an expert in this area. I'm just asking you. You talked a lot, and I've read some of your writings about American corporations cheating on their taxes. I'm just asking you who they are.
I wouldn't use the word cheating. I think that they are taking advantage of the gray zone.
You used it in your testimony.
I'm sorry?
You used it in your testimony. I'm not trying to trick you. I just want to know you have been very vociferous in saying that American companies are cheating. Okay, that's America. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're an expert, and just tell me who they are.
I stand by that. I think that there is evidence to suggest that some of these companies and the IRS has pursued cases against a number of the companies that Mr. Curtis has analyzed, including Apple and Microsoft and Facebook and Coca-Cola.
Is Apple a tax cheat?
I wouldn't say tax cheat. I think that's putting it too strongly, and I didn't use that word.
Then who are they?
I wouldn't say tax cheats, but I think they are crossing the legal lines that have been set by Congress and by the IRS in the relevant regulations. And because the IRS is outgunned, they're not able to enforce the law against them.
Let me start over. Do you believe that there are major American corporations cheating on their taxes?
I believe they are coming very close to crossing the line, and it's difficult for IRS that is outgunned to enforce the line.
Are they crossing the line or not?
Well, it's up to the IRS to enforce the line if they don't have the resources.
I'm asking you your opinion. You're an expert.
I think there's a good case to be made that, yes, they are crossing the line.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who are they?
That's up to the courts and the IRS to determine.
You made this allegation, but you don't want to say who they are? How do I mean, if you know who they are, you just don't want to tell us?
I think that's been explained by Mr. Curtis in his analysis.
I'm asking you to explain. You talk about tax cheats. I'm just asking you who they are, and you don't want to tell us?
It's again, I think it's for the IRS to enforce the line, and we need to make sure that the IRS is properly.
Well, do you have a list of these tax sheets?
No.
Okay. Have you been to the IRS and said, here are these companies and they're cheating on their taxes and I can show you how they're doing it?
No, I'm not. That's not I've never practiced in that area of law. I'm not a tax whistleblower lawyer.
All you've done is run around saying that American companies are cheating on their taxes. I can't tell you who they are, and I haven't been to the IRS to show my data to the IRS, but I want you to believe me that they're cheating on their taxes. Is that your testimony today?
No, Senator, no.
Sure sounds like it.
I think that the case against some of these companies has been well documented in the
Which companies? Let me ask you one,
public.
because I'm going to run out of time. Tell me, in the last 23 seconds, here's your chance. You believe there are major American corporations cheating on their taxes. You just testified to that. I believe you told me yes. Tell me who they are.
I think there are the companies that Mr. Curtis discussed in his testimony.
Tell me who they are.
It includes some of the big tech companies. It includes some of the pharma companies that are.
Who are the 5 worst?
I don't have a ranking. I have not compiled.
You don't want to say.
I haven't looked into that.
You understand it makes it hard to believe your allegations if you won't tell us who they are. Talk's cheap. You ever heard that expression?
This exchange shines a light on how complex and sensitive corporate tax issues are, and how hard it is to prove wrongdoing even when experts believe it's happening. So, what do you think? Is it fair for Milin to make these claims without naming names? Or was Kennedy right to demand specifics? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns on Capitol insights of key political moments and stories.